From Windsor, Ontario, it's remotely Zach with Zachary Thomas. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Zachary Thomas.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I am your host, everybody's favorite, Zachary Thomas. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much at home. Well, I got a great show for you this evening. The president and founder of Windsor Vax Finders, Noah Gascon, is here. And we also have some fun segments, so stay tuned for that. Well, I don't think you need me to tell you, but it's hot. How hot is it? It is so hot that people are applying to work for Governor Cuomo just for the air conditioning. Yeah, it's great. Well, did you hear this? According to NPR, an investigation found that Governor Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women in and out of state government and also worked to retaliate against one of his accusers, which was announced by the New York Attorney General. Cuomo also addressed the allegations, and apparently nobody was off limits. Watch.
The New York Times published a front page picture of me touching a woman's face at a wedding and then kissing her on the cheek. That is not front page news. I've been making the same gesture in public all my life. I actually learned it from my mother and from my father. It is meant to convey warmth, nothing more. Indeed, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of photos of me using the exact same gesture. I do it with everyone. Black and white, young and old, straight and LGBTQ, powerful people, friends.
Yeah, smart, dumb, beautiful, ugly, rich, poor. Cuomo sexually harassed many women. Shameful. Let's call it what that really is. That's Republican behavior. What it is what it is. There's also the chance that the New York State Assembly could file for impeachment. When he heard this, he immediately called Bill Clinton for advice. True. I don't think he really learned his lesson because he apparently hired a female lawyer and asked, Can you help get me off? It's like, that's not what it's not okay. Oh, he did resign as well. Yep, following multiple calls from Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer, he backed off, which is pretty much what he didn't do when his accusers told him to. Kind of a double thing. Lady from Russia is suing McDonald's because she claims that their ads made her order from the restaurant, which she gave up for Lent. So let me get this straight. Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. You're suing McDonald's because your fat ass caved into their ads? You are from Russia, not America. No. Though I do hear Russia and America have a lot in common. Anyway, from the Canadians' point of view. In South Dakota news, the Sturgis Bike Rally is back. According to the Daily Beast, the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally is all about crowds, and according to the Washington Post, at least 700,000 people are expected to attend. Yeah, that's right. That's right. 700,000 bikers are expected to show up, which I believe is more than the population of South Dakota as a whole. It's a whole state. This is also led by pandemic skeptics like Governor Kristi Noem. Remind me, who is Kristi Noem again? Can you show me a picture of her? Show me a picture. Ah, there she is. No, Kristi Noem. A real one. Good God. That is the description of a brunette Karen. I would like to talk to your manager. By manager, I mean your president, but not the current president we have, because he's not our president. Where was I? Ah, yes. She would be disproportionately composed of the unvaccinated, but experts suggested that events-wide reach, along with the spiral of the new and unrelenting Delta variant, could spell nationwide disaster. You know what else is a nationwide disaster? Kristi Noem's hair. But in August 2021, it's not just the crowds that have epidemiologists freaking out, it's who is in them. Interviews this week suggest many attendees of the days-long death march here are unvaccinated people, who in addition to often refusing masks, are also rejecting the best tool there is to curb this raging pandemic. You know what else is raging? People who want to get back to normal, so suck it up, wear the fucking mask, and I don't give a goddamn shit about your rights, because I also have the rights to live. Go back to normal. Ooh, pandemic rage going on over here. Woo. Woo. In other news, speaking of dummies, a video was posted to both TikTok and Twitter showing a woman complaining about a homeowner's certain flag, and needless to say, she got a little tiggered. Take a look.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I want to talk about this Tigger flag.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay, why not?
I thought the American flag was real nice.
Uh-huh.
I don't say nothing about the shrubbery being cut. I don't say nothing about the backyard. But now, I don't like that.
Oh, okay, I didn't hang that. My brother hung that.
Well, I know. I'm just telling you, I don't like it.
Okay.
And we have rules. I won't have to go find out what they are, but I don't like that.
I mean, this isn't a homeowners association, though.
No, but there's rules for the community. And I'm just saying, I don't like it.
All right.
It makes it look tacky.
Welcome.
Makes the neighborhood look tacky.
It doesn't, but that's okay. It's okay. You're allowed your opinion.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I was just waiting for someone like her daughter to say, no, Ma, no, we got to get you back. No, come on, Ma. We got to get you back to the nut farm. Come on, got to get back. Speaking of nuts, boy, they all seem just to fit in right here, don't they? Rudy Giuliani is apparently so broke. How broke is he? Rudy Giuliani is so broke, he is selling custom videos of himself for $275 a piece on Cameo. I'm really afraid to know what custom videos of Rudy Giuliani entails. And can you imagine Rudy wishing you a happy anniversary? Happy anniversary on your nuptials. Make sure your marriage is totally legitimate. Custom Rudy Giuliani videos for $275, or as I like to call it, the most expensive OnlyFans ever. Like, ever. Well, you got bad news, folks. The climate report came out this week, and we are in a code red for humanity. Now, what does that mean, you ask? More out-of-control wildfires, floods, storms, and pretty much anything bad you could imagine. I mean, I should be building a boat right now and calling two of every animal. Let's see, pig, horse, Matt Gaetz, Cuomo. We have made fun of billionaires like Jeff the Toe Bezos and Richard Branson for flying into space, but they may have the best idea because we need a new planet to destroy. We may have to settle on Mars. We may have to settle on Venus. Might I suggest Uranus? And I hear Governor Cuomo just got a head start. All right, well, we got a great show for you this evening. Tonight, the founder and president of Windsor Vax Finders, Noah Gascon. But when we return, did I read that right? Stick around, please. Please stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Tonight is going to be a great show. The founder and president of Windsor Vax Finders, Noah Gascon, is here. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Can't wait. I will also be talking about fan fiction, so stick around for that as well. That's going to be really good. That's something we're going to tackle there. Folks, I just graduated the journalism program at St. Clair College here in Windsor, Ontario. And part of the program was to write news stories, like for the newspaper. Now, I have made some mistakes, I'll admit it, but not like what I'm about to show you. That's right, it is time to go through some headlines that will make you think, did I read that right? Headline number one, safety meeting ends in accident. Well, who could have seen that coming? Could have stayed home and watched the Olympics if it was going to happen anyway. Might as well not have left the house. Next up, best man left bleeding after being hit in the head with a flying dildo. Duck! What? I love the end. And wait till you hear where it came from. Damn it, Aunt Becky, I told you to leave that at home. And I don't know why you need that. You already have the real one. All right, what's next here? Oh, God. Girls' school still offering something special. Head. Now, here, look. See, they should have just left it after something special. That's it. That's it. Oh, God. A nuclear explosion would be a disaster. Well, no shit. No, we'd all be walking around with superpowers. We'd all be Batman and Superman. Oh my God. These stories. We'll be right back with Noah Gascon, so stay with us, please. Oh God, that was some weird ass shit right there. Hey everybody, welcome back. My guest this evening is no stranger to the show. He is also the founder and president of Windsor Vax Finders. Please welcome back Noah Gascon. Noah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Zach.
So, according to the Windsor Essex Health Unit, over 500,000 people in Windsor have been vaccinated. What do you think about those stats?
Well, obviously, it's incredible that over 75% of the eligible population across Windsor Essex has stepped up to receive at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. Obviously, that is a significant number. And the second doses have been rolling out for about 2 months now, and we have well over 65% of the eligible population with 2 doses in that category. Just have to say, it's incredible to see so many people willing to protect the health of their community, as well as their loved ones, by finding a way to decrease the transmission, as well as their likelihood to get infected, as well as hospitalized or seriously ill. And even though those are very high numbers, we know it's not enough, and we know that there's still a significant chunk of unvaccinated people who should go out and get their first and second doses. And that's really something that we have to encourage in the coming weeks and months, because we know that the fourth wave has already begun, and we know that unvaccinated people are going to be highly susceptible to the Delta variant. So if any unvaccinated people are watching this today, please go get your shot. It is easier than ever. Devonshire Mall, you can just walk right in and they'll give you your shot. But yeah, no, it's incredible.
For God's sakes, it's free, people.
Go yeah, get your it's free.
Yeah, go get your shots. So what do you think? What do you think the next step is in order to getting more people vaccinated?
Well, obviously, when we look at how we are going to incentivize or incentivize vaccination and disincentivize not getting vaccinated, as we move forward, there's going to be many steps that our governments are going to have to look at. So we know that many jurisdictions are considering vaccine passports. We know that France, Italy, as well as our neighbors to the east, Quebec, have already adopted a vaccine passport, which is essentially saying you cannot enter a non-essential business unless you have both doses of the vaccine. It may be different if it's 1 or 2 doses between the jurisdictions. I'll be honest, I haven't researched that too much, but as soon as that was announced, I believe in France, the appointment bookings increased by 5-fold within 24 hours after that announcement. So we know that does motivate people to get their vaccine, because obviously it's increasing the number of appointments being booked, and it's incentivizing, well, if you get your vaccine, then you can participate in normal life, and you're also going to be able to interact with society in a normal way. So that's another thing we have to consider, as well as reaching out to our vulnerable communities as well. We know that there's still a chunk of the population that has not necessarily been reached out to, whether it be our immigrant communities, our minority communities, as well as those in situations where there may be language barriers. We still have to do outreach to those communities too, but I would say the vast majority of people who are unvaccinated now is sort of by choice, or they just need that nudge to go get vaccinated. So I think those are going to be the next steps that our governments are going to look at. I won't comment specifically on exactly what's happening province-wide and their decision regarding that. But we are going to see what happens, and I do believe that's the next step in the process. So definitely going to be interesting the next few weeks to see how that plays out.
So are you for vaccine passports then?
So on a personal note, speaking on behalf of myself and not Windsor Vax Finders, yes, I do personally support a vaccine passport system put in place province-wide that would allow people to access certain non-essential businesses such as indoor dining, movie theaters, as well as if we look at our vulnerable too, we have healthcare settings as well. There's incredibly vulnerable people who could get exposed to COVID and have lasting implications from it, as well as potentially death. We do have to look at implementing in those settings, and obviously it's something that it's going to be a contentious issue in the coming weeks. But personally, I do support it, and anything that's going to incentivize people to get vaccinated, let's do it. Let's do it now before this fourth wave gets any worse.
So less than 60% of the population have been administered. So what's the goal to ramp those things up? I think we touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, so like
Anything
I said, it's really going to be reaching out to those communities that still have not been vaccinated. So reaching out through advertising as well as going door to door and answering any questions they may have about hesitancy. And it's okay to have questions about the vaccine. Like this is something that was introduced months ago, and people still have questions, and that's totally okay. So I would personally encourage them to go speak to their primary care physician, as well as healthcare workers and other trusted members of the community to really get accurate answers to their questions about how the vaccine works, and essentially what the side effects may be and that kind of thing as well. So there's that piece, as well as putting in the vaccine passport system, which is something that obviously falls under provincial jurisdiction. And it's going to be up to the provincial government to decide whether or not we have a vaccine passport system. Like I said, personally, I'm for it. And I think that's going to increase vaccination rates in our community. And I really think outreach to the youth as well, because if you look at essentially all the age demographics in Windsor Essex that have had the vaccine, the lowest is currently at the 12 to 17 category. And those people are going back to schools in the fall. They're going to be in the classrooms. And obviously they're going to be at an increased risk of being exposed to COVID. So really getting those vaccines in before back to school time. And even myself, like I'm starting first year university, even though most of my classes are online, I know that there's going to be quite a few people on campus. And personally, I would be okay with a mandate on campus as well, to see people get vaccinated there, because the 18 to 29 category, which is essentially the next category, is the second lowest for first and second dose vaccination in Windsor Essex. So we have to pull out all the stops here before we trigger a significant Delta wave. And I truly believe that if we do this, we can mitigate the impacts of this wave, as well as protect our vulnerable and make sure we keep low hospitalization and death rates as we move forward here. But obviously, it's a contentious issue, and going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks.
Yeah, I think vaccine passports are important, and we should have those.
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting for the negative comments to roll in. So how much of a role do you think you guys played and I do mean Windsor Vax Finders played in getting people vaccinated?
So great question. So Obviously, looking back in early May when I decided to launch this initiative and recruit our 30 amazing volunteers who have worked so hard over these past few months, um, I think that we have played a significant role in the vaccination rollout. But I would say the number one group of people who have played the most significant role has to be our healthcare workers and the wonderful team at the health unit who have organized all these clinics and it really reached out to significant portions of the community to make sure people get their vaccine. Vaccinating 75% of the population is not an easy task. I'll tell you that right now. Um, Even personally, I was a little bit skeptical that we were going to get that high with the vaccination rollout, but we did it. Um, it's all about outreach. So what we did at Windsor Vax Finders was essentially contact all the pharmacies in Windsor, Essex, see if they have vaccine available, and also essentially check the appointment times on the health unit website, see if they have appointments available, and also scour the area for pop-up links that says, hey, you don't need an appointment, just go on up and get your vaccine, which a lot of people like because the appointment process can be a little bit difficult for some people. And obviously, it was very helpful to many community members. We saw 40,000 visits to our website cumulatively to book the appointments for the vaccines. And there were other resources too, where people could go out and print their vaccination receipt. We included a direct link to that. And we also had links to other pharmacies where they could book their appointments through a third party. So 40,000 visits was not something that we weren't expecting. And then also when we look at our social media, we had 7,000 unique followers across all of our platforms show up within 3 weeks. Getting 7,000 followers within 3 weeks was something I personally didn't expect. And I'll be honest, a lot of us who are on the leadership team did not expect that either. And it was really amazing to see the outreach we got from the community and people taking our posts that we made based off the information we got from all these community organizations and sharing it with their friends and sharing it with their family members. And I know it saved lives at the end of the day. Personally, I wasn't sure if we were going to grow big enough to say, okay, we could have potentially saved lives and prevented infections. But I'm confident that we did save lives and we did prevent infections by providing people with the earlier notice that there's appointments available at certain locations across Windsor, Essex, as well as certain walk-in opportunities as well. So, and as I said, you may have seen my story on Twitter where my mom may pass away from COVID-19 at the height of the second wave. And essentially what happened was the vaccine came into her home the day after she passed away. They vaccinated all the residents. And I knew how quickly the disease can progress. Like she got COVID on New Year's Eve, 7 days later, she was on her deathbed, right? And obviously, you know, there's so many people who might end up in that situation if they don't get the vaccine as soon as possible, because we know that the incubation period for this virus is incredibly rapid and you can go from an asymptomatic infection to a hospital bed within days. That's how serious this virus is. And, you know, that was with the original strain of COVID. That was with, I believe, the Wuhan strain of it. Now we have the Delta variant. The amount of viral particles that are in your nasal pharynx from this virus, or I should say the Delta variant compared to the Wuhan variant, 1,000 times higher, 1,000 times higher of viral particles that end up in your nasal pharynx. So you can imagine how much worse the virus is going to wreak havoc on your body when you have a significant amount of virus going into you. And obviously, even though vaccinated people could still potentially have breakthrough infections, we know that they're still effective against severe illness. We know that they're very effective against death as well. And that's what matters at the end of the day. Listen, if you get COVID and you're vaccinated and this is a common cold, consider that a blessing in the sense because, you know, you could have been in a much worse situation if you weren't vaccinated. But obviously, I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here about the importance of getting vaccinated. But like I said, I truly feel that our team did such a great job in putting the word out to the community about available appointments, and we made a significant difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, with your statistic there, I think you could just feel the people not wanting to leave their homes.
Yeah, no, obviously it's something that is it's a little bit difficult, especially when we started it during the stay-at-home order that was imposed because of the third wave in Ontario. So at that point, everybody was locked down and maybe didn't want to leave the house at that point. But I will say the one exception was getting your vaccine. That's very important. Absolutely leave the house for that and get that. And a lot of people were willing to do that at the end of the day, which was really great to see. And we've been successful in mitigating the infection for the vaccinated population, but we do see cases rising, like I said, in Windsor, Essex, and Ontario. But these cases are predominantly among the unvaccinated population. And if they don't get their shots, then this is going to get significantly worse. And we have to pull out all the stops to make sure we have a significant degree of population immunity as we head into the fall and we move indoors. So we're going to see what happens, but it's definitely going to be interesting.
So, so what's next for the Windsor Vax Finders? Because COVID's not going to last forever, hopefully.
So I'll put it as stay tuned. We are currently working on the plan right now to show the public our next phase of Windsor Vax Finders. Obviously, we know that vaccines are plentiful now. They are readily available. It's easier than ever to get one. So we're going to be unveiling a self-serve tool in the next few weeks. And I'll just say stay tuned for that announcement. It's coming very soon.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
So how optimistic do you feel we'll actually get out of this and have COVID behind us?
Well, that's a great question. And obviously, personally, I'm not a scientist and I'm not somebody who can necessarily predict what's going to happen with the virus, because we know this virus can sometimes be unpredictable. But it all depends on population immunity. So one person who I have a lot of respect for, his name is David Feisman. He sits on the Ontario Science Table and essentially maps out different scenarios for the virus and what could happen. So essentially what he did a few months ago was looked at, okay, if we have the Delta variant, that's going to become the dominant strain in Ontario. Okay, how much of a degree of population immunity do we need to say, okay, this virus is endemic? We can essentially drop all the measures and move back to normal life. So he calculated that, and essentially we need 90% of the population to roll up their sleeves and get not just one, but 2 doses of the vaccine for this virus to become endemic. And obviously, it's still a prediction. It could be wrong. You never know. But like I said, the more people that get vaccinated, the greater of a chance we get over the hump early and we are able to declare this virus endemic, because COVID's never going to go away. This pandemic is going to end. Like, I'm 100% certain this pandemic will end. But COVID will never go away, and COVID is still going to be with us. But to end pandemic restrictions, masking, social distancing, that kind of thing, at the end of the day, we're going to need at least 90% of our population either vaccinated or having a natural infection to reach that level of immunity. So we're going to see what happens over the next few weeks. And it's really going to be about governmental policy and decisions that are going to determine whether or not we're going to reach that point early, or whether or not we're going to have to wait and sit down and keep living through this virus because of inaction. So we're going to see what happens. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Alrighty, well, just to recap, get your vaccine. It's free, and help us all get out of this. It's free. What more do you want? All right. Well, Noah,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us this evening, rather. And also, you can find Windsor Vax Finders on Twitter. Just go to Windsor Vax Finders, follow them, so you can be in the latest of the vaccines. All right. Again, thank you, Noah. We'll be right back, more remotely, Zach, right after this.
Thank you, Zach.
Hey there, have you guys ever heard of fan fiction? Have you? This is when people make up their own stories around famous characters and they vary from story to story, including fanfiction pornography, confession. I have written some fanfiction pornography a little while ago based on the TV show SpongeBob SquarePants, and well, I thought this would be a perfect time to share some SpongeBob erotica. Here we go. Would you like to hear some? Okay, cool. Okay. It was a hot summer day in Bikini Bottom, and SpongeBob was pulling weeds in front of his home. And Squidward walks out, staring at SpongeBob pulling those weeds, imagining that SpongeBob was pulling him. SpongeBob gets up, and Squidward offers to take him to his place for a glass of water. "Would you like some water?" Squidward asked. "Sure," the sponge replied. Didn't know I was doing voices too. They walk in, SpongeBob asks, "Can I use your shower?" "Sure," Squidward replied. The sponge walks up the stairs to take a hot soapy shower. Gets out and sees Squidward lying on the bed, naked. SpongeBob then asks in shock, "Squidward, what are you doing?" Squidward then replies, "I'm waiting for you to pull me like you pull those weeds." SpongeBob in shock replies, I couldn't." Then Squidward gets up, puts his tentacles on SpongeBob's mouth, saying, "Shh. Just get down, you naughty little whore of a sponge." SpongeBob, dripping wet from every hole in his body, gets down, pulls Squidward's long, hard tentacle, and puts it in his mouth, bobbing that sponge head up and down. Squidward then pushes the sponge over and sticks it in, and pulling SpongeBob's cap as he thrusts that giant squid cock, screaming, oh yeah, that's my naughty little sponge. Who's my naughty little sponge?" To which SpongeBob replies, I am. Squidward takes his cock out and pushes SpongeBob on his back and unloads all over him, leaving SpongeBob full of shame and cum. So what happens next? Well, I hope we never know. And if you're still here, thank you so much for joining us. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more great content. Also, follow us on social media. Those links are down below in the description. I've been your host, Zachary Thomas, and we will see you next week. Same place, same time. Good night. Get vaccinated. Please, go and get vaccinated. If you made it to the end of this video, remember to please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, as well as give us a big old thumbs up. And also check out our other videos here as well. Please, I'm not allowed to get up until you do.